I remember years ago when I was just starting my journey to success. I found myself in a small apartment, surrounded by bills and uncertainty. But something extraordinary happened that morning. I made a decision to train my mind with the same intensity that ancient warriors trained their bodies. That decision changed everything. You see, in today's fast-paced world, physical strength alone isn't enough. The true battles are fought in the chambers of our minds. Every day I witness incredible people, executives, entrepreneurs, parents, students, all facing the same challenge, the need to develop unshakable mental strength. When a warrior prepares for battle, they don't just pick up their sword on the day of combat. They spend countless hours honing their skills, strengthening their resolve, and preparing their mind for any challenge that may come their way. This is exactly what you must do with your mind. In my decades of studying success and human potential, I've discovered that the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who merely dream about it lies in their mental preparation. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who've trained their minds to push through barriers, overcome obstacles, and persist when others give up. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. Plant doubts, and you'll harvest uncertainty. Plant discipline, courage, and determination, and you'll reap success beyond your wildest dreams. This isn't just positive thinking. It's strategic mental conditioning that has transformed countless lives. The remarkable thing about mental training is that it works for everyone, regardless of their starting point. I've seen people from all walks of life, facing seemingly insurmountable odds, completely transform their reality by first transforming their mindset. They understood one fundamental truth. Before you can conquer the world, you must first conquer your own mind. What you're about to discover are the exact principles and strategies that the most mentally tough individuals use to build their success. These aren't theoretical concepts. They're battle-tested techniques that have created champions in business, sports, and life. The principles of mental warfare that have stood the test of time. The greatest battles you'll ever face aren't out there in the world. They're the ones that take place between your ears. And just like a warrior preparing for battle, you must train your mind to be ready for anything. This training isn't just about positive thinking or motivation. It's about developing the mental toughness that turns average performers into extraordinary achievers. Mental toughness is what separates the champions from the spectators, the achievers from the dreamers. And here's the fascinating truth about mental toughness. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build day by day, decision by decision, just like a warrior builds their strength through constant training. I once interviewed an Olympic athlete who told me something remarkable. He said the gold medal wasn't won on the day of the competition. It was won in the thousands of moments when I chose to push through pain, when I chose discipline over comfort. This is the essence of mental toughness, the ability to make the right choice when every fiber of your being is screaming for the easy way out. Average thinking says, I will do it when I feel motivated. Exceptional thinking says, I will do it because I've committed to it. Average thinking looks for excuses. Exceptional thinking looks for solutions. The difference is as clear as night and day, and it shows up in every area of life. Take two salespeople facing rejection. The average thinker sees rejection as a sign to quit. The exceptional thinker sees it as valuable feedback, another step toward mastery. When you develop this exceptional mindset, rejection becomes your ally, obstacles become your stepping stones, and problems become opportunities in disguise. Self-discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. I remember working with a struggling entrepreneur who transformed his business by implementing one simple rule. Do the hardest task first thing in the morning, every single morning. Within 6 months, his productivity doubled and his income followed suit. The power of self-discipline extends far beyond just getting things done. It's about building trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment you've made to yourself, you strengthen your mental backbone. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you're building mental muscle. Navy SEALs don't become mentally tough during their missions. They become mentally tough during their training, pushing through exhaustion, cold, and fear. They develop what I call mental resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger from setbacks, to maintain focus under pressure, and to keep pushing when everything inside says stop. You can develop this same mental resilience in your daily life. Start small. When you feel like hitting the snooze button, get up instead. When you want to check social media, read a book instead. When you feel like giving up on a project, give it 15 more minutes. These small victories accumulate into an unshakable foundation of mental strength. I've seen countless individuals transform their lives by applying these principles. A single mother who completed her degree while working full-time. A middle-aged executive who lost 100 pounds through consistent daily choices. A young entrepreneur who failed in 3 businesses before building a $1 million company. What did they all have in common? They understood that mental toughness isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's about moving forward despite these feelings. The most powerful realization you can have is this: your mind is trainable. Just as a warrior spends countless hours practicing with their sword until it becomes an extension of their body, you can train your mind until mental toughness becomes your natural state. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen this warrior mindset. These 7 principles are powerful, but they're just the beginning. Now, I want to share with you the exact tools and techniques that turn an ordinary mind into an unstoppable force. These are the same methods I've taught to thousands of successful people worldwide, and they work with absolute predictability when applied consistently. Every morning before I start my day, I spend 20 minutes in what I call mental rehearsal. This isn't just quiet time or meditation. It's active mental training. Think of it like a warrior practicing their sword strikes before battle. In the quiet of the morning, I review my goals, visualize my desired outcomes, and mentally rehearse my perfect day. This single habit has been worth millions of dollars to me and countless others who practice it. The fascinating thing about visualization is that your brain cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize yourself performing at your best, you're literally programming your brain for success. I worked with an Olympic diver who told me she never performed a diving competition that she hadn't already performed perfectly thousands of times in her mind. Here's how you do it. Close your eyes and create a crystal clear mental movie of yourself performing your most important tasks perfectly. See yourself giving that presentation with total confidence. Watch yourself handling challenging situations with ease and grace. Feel the emotions of success flowing through your body. The more real you make it in your mind, the more real it becomes in your life. But visualization alone isn't enough. You need to combine it with powerful personal affirmation. Now, I'm not talking about feel-good statements that have no basis in reality. I'm talking about clear, specific declarations that program your subconscious mind for success. These affirmations must be personal, present tense, and positive. I remember working with a sales executive who was struggling to meet his targets. Every morning, he would look in the mirror and declare with absolute conviction, I am an outstanding salesperson, I love my work, and I'm getting better every day. I earn a specific amount per month by providing excellent service to my customers. Within 3 months, his sales had doubled. Why? Because he changed his self-image, and his performance naturally rose to match it. The real power comes when you turn these mental training exercises into daily habits. Success is not an event, it's a habit. Champions don't become champions in the ring, they emerge from their daily routine. Your habits are the building blocks of your destiny. The key is to start small, but be consistent. Begin with just 5 minutes of visualization each morning. Add one powerful affirmation that you repeat with conviction. Then gradually build up your mental training routine. I've seen people transform their lives by creating what I call a success ritual. They wake up 30 minutes earlier than necessary. They spend 10 minutes in gratitude and visualization, 10 minutes reviewing their goals, and 10 minutes planning their day. This simple routine, performed consistently, has created more millionaires than any other single practice I know. Remember, your mind is like a supercomputer, and your self-talk is the program it runs. When you feed it positive, empowering instructions through visualization and affirmations, backed by consistent daily habits, you create an unstoppable force for success in your life. The beauty of these mental training techniques is that they work in every area of life. Whether you're building a business, improving your relationships, or pursuing personal goals, these tools will multiply your effectiveness. And as you continue to strengthen your mental arsenal day by day, you'll find yourself naturally overcoming challenges that once seemed insurmountable. How to overcome the battles that take place in your own mind. The greatest battles you'll ever face aren't on any physical battlefield. They're the ones that rage inside your own mind. Every single person in this room, including myself, has faced that voice of self-doubt. That quiet whisper that says, maybe you're not good enough, maybe you should give up, maybe you're reaching too high. But here's what separates warriors from warriors. Warriors understand that self-doubt is not a stop sign. It's a test of your commitment. I remember standing in front of my first major audience, my heart pounding so hard I thought it would burst through my chest. The voice of doubt was screaming at me to run off that stage. Instead, I took a deep breath and asked myself, what would a person with unlimited confidence do in this situation? Then I did exactly that. Fear is nothing more than a misuse of your creative imagination. When you feel fear, you're actually demonstrating your ability to create vivid mental pictures of things going wrong. The secret is to use the same power to create pictures of things going right. Every time fear rises up, treat it like fuel for your rocket ship of success. I've worked with thousands of people who turn their biggest fears into their greatest achievements. A woman terrified of public speaking who became a renowned keynote speaker. An entrepreneur who lost everything in his first business but used that fear of failure to build an empire. They all learned one crucial truth. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the triumph over it. Limitations. Every limitation you think you have is self-imposed. It's a fence you've built in your own mind. I once met a man who told me he was too old to start a business. He was 42. 2 years later, after removing that mental barrier, he built $1 million company. The only real limitations are the ones you accept in your own mind. Breaking through these limitations requires what I call possibility thinking. Instead of asking, why can't I? Ask yourself, how can I? Instead of saying, I've never done this before, say, this is my opportunity to learn something new. These simple shifts in thinking can open doors you never knew existed. But what about failure? This is where the true warrior mindset shows itself. A warrior knows that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every failure contains a lesson, and every lesson makes you stronger. I failed more times than I can count, but each failure taught me something invaluable that contributed to later successes. A warrior's response to failure is simple. Analyze, adjust, advance. Never let a failure define you. Let it refine you. When you hit an obstacle, don't ask, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to become stronger? Remember, mental battles are won or lost before they're ever fought. By preparing your mind, by building your mental strength, by facing your fears head-on, you develop what I call battle-hardened confidence. The kind that can weather any storm. Every mental battle you win makes you stronger for the next one. Every fear you face diminishes the power of all future fears. Every limitation you break through expands your vision of what's possible. The journey to mental mastery isn't a sprint. It's a marathon that you run one step at a time. And just like a marathon runner doesn't show up on race day without training, you can't achieve mental mastery without a clear, specific plan of action. Your mental training plan is your roadmap to excellence, your personal blueprint for success. Start with your morning routine. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Spent years studying the morning habits of highly successful people, and they all have one thing in common. They take control of their minds before the world tries to take control of their time. Your mental training plan must begin here. Write down your goals every morning, not once a week, not once a month, every single morning. This isn't just about remembering them. It's about programming them deeper into your subconscious mind with each repetition. I've seen incredible transformations in people who committed to this simple practice for just 30 days. But how do you measure progress in mental training? It's not as straightforward as measuring physical gain, but it's just as important. Look for what I call victory indicators, small signs that show your mental strength is growing. Maybe you stay calm in situations that used to stress you out. Maybe you bounce back faster from setbacks. Maybe you're making decisions with more confidence and clarity. Keep a daily success journal. Write down your victories, no matter how small. Record the moments when you chose discipline over distraction, when you pushed through fear, when you maintained focus despite chaos around you. These written records become powerful evidence of your progress and fuel for future growth. Building mental stamina is like building physical stamina. You have to progressively challenge yourself. Start with small challenges and gradually increase the difficulty. If you can maintain focus for 30 minutes today, push for 35 minutes tomorrow. If you can handle one difficult conversation with grace, prepare yourself for two. Each small victory builds your mental endurance. I remember working with a business owner who started with just 5 minutes of focused planning each morning. Within 6 months, he had developed the mental stamina to maintain laser focus for 2 hours straight, completely transforming his productivity and his business results. The key wasn't making giant leaps, it was consistent, progressive improvement. The most powerful force in mental mastery is what I call the compound effect of daily practice. Small actions repeated consistently over time create extraordinary results. If you improve just 1% each day by the end of 1 year, you'll be 37 times better. That's the power of compound growth in mental strength. Every time you follow through on your mental training plan, you're not just building habits, you're building neural pathways in your brain. You're literally rewiring your mind for success. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. A small action done daily will always outperform a big action done occasionally. Your path to mental mastery is unique to you, but the principles remain constant. Clear goals, consistent practice, measured progress, and unwavering commitment to daily improvement. Remember that the greatest satisfaction in life comes not from reaching the destination, but from knowing that you're growing stronger with each step of the journey. Remember that everything we've discussed today means nothing without action. The strategies, the techniques, the principles, they're all just words until you breathe life into them through your decisions and actions. The time to begin your journey as a mental warrior isn't tomorrow, next week, or when conditions are perfect. It's right now, in this moment. Wait, back to where we started. We talked about the warrior mindset, about turning your mind into an unstoppable force. Now I'm asking you, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it become just another interesting idea that fades away, or will you turn it into your new reality? Your life will change the moment you make an unshakable commitment to mental excellence. I've seen this transformation thousands of times. People just like you who decided that average thinking was no longer acceptable. They committed to excellence, and everything in their lives began to shift. Start small, but start now. Tonight, before you go to bed, write down your 3 most important goals. Tomorrow morning, wake up 15 minutes earlier and begin your mental training. Take one small step, then another, then another. Remember, the warrior's path isn't about perfection. It's about progression. You have everything you need right now to begin this journey. You have the tools, the techniques, and most importantly, you have the potential. Every great warrior throughout history started exactly where you are right now, with a decision to become more than they were. The mental battles you'll face won't be easy. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to hold you back, when the easy path looks tempting. But remember this, every time you choose the warrior's path, the path of discipline, courage, and unwavering commitment, you become stronger. In the years to come, you'll look back on this moment as a turning point, the moment you decided to train your mind like a warrior, the moment you committed to excellence, the moment you chose to step into your full potential. The world needs mental warriors now more than ever, people who refuse to be average, who push through limitations, who inspire others through their example. That's your calling. That's your challenge. That's your opportunity. Your journey to mental mastery begins now. The warrior's path lies before you. Take that first step and never look back. Thank you. And remember, the greatest battles and the greatest victories all begin in the mind.